Welcome to the Outside the Business Boxes podcast, where we're talking about how to ignite your business today for the future using systems for everything you do in your business to make your life, your employees' lives, and your customers' lives easier for you to ultimately enjoy your business and, of course, make more money. I'm your host, Chad Murray. Welcome to Outside the Business Boxes podcast. I am Chad Murray, your host. Back from vacation. I took the week off, went to Florida. Wow, I'm a little fatter, a little wiser, a little more relaxed, and I am totally pumped to come back to you today with Building a Business Part 3. Okay, so first, what did we do at first? At first, we did Part 1 was we really needed to be looking into the power of one, hiring that one person, right? Getting that one person you can develop and put into. The second, building a business part 2 is mindset and leadership. So we got you to that point now. Okay. Have you hired someone now? I mean, obviously, I don't care if you're a 10-person or even a 30-person business. Do you have the one person as your mindset ready? This model I'm going through right now works for if you're a solopreneur building your business, or you've got 10 trucks and you got to do that. Because you probably, you may or may not have someone you fully trust or something, but you got to find that person, and you've got to go through these steps to get your business to where it can be building and working for you, and you not working for it either way. So today, what is part 3? Part 3 is a hodgepodge of 3 different things: cart before the horse type stuff, training. Go get yourself in trouble, hire another person, and advertising. Okay, so that really is kind of part 4 and 5 along with it, but I'm going to wrap it all up into part 3. Let me tell you why. Because it has to happen simultaneously. All right. And so if you're really trying to scale your business and you're trying to find management, you're trying to do whatever. So let's just say you have someone in your business. Let's say you're a 5-6 truck company, and you're about ready to hire a manager, someone that's going to take the reins of operations for you. Or let's just say you're a solopreneur and you're going to be hiring someone that, you're going to be giving them a truck. Either way, it doesn't matter. This is what my point is. You got to pour into them. So here's what you have to do. You're going to have to train them. Well, here's what I strongly suggest. You train them 100%. That's the power of one. You train this. We talked about this in part 1. Get this person so trained, so well, so good that they are a mirror of you. And that's why I say hire another person right away to put into your truck to be doing the same thing with 2 people. Because you want to get 2 people out there running and gunning. And so now, a lot of businesses are sitting, how in the hell do I afford that? Well, you got to start advertising. You have to start advertising and getting more appointments. That is the key to growth. Nobody is scaling to 10, 15, 20 trucks without an advertising budget. You have to have an advertising budget. You have to start putting money into it so that you can allow yourself to get so many appointments for all your people that you are now managing. This is the key point you need to listen to me. I'm going to take a drink here real quick. This is the key to it. Right now, you've just gotten enough business for the people you have just now. Whether you have 5 trucks or 1 truck, you've just gotten to this point, and you're only doing whatever you can do to keep that 1 truck or those 5 trucks busy. Well, guess what? Scaling is going to involve getting yourself in trouble. You're going to have to spend more money on advertising so that you can keep these trucks and the training going. Okay. So I'm about to blow your mind probably. And maybe I've mentioned this in other podcasts or not, but and I know I've mentioned that Masters F, I think has solved its spring and summer bad months. So I was on vacation in Florida. We were gone for 8 days, and production wise is still getting caught up because we're still hiring masons. So we're doing a lot of masonry sales. So we're scheduling out more than I like to see with one or two trucks that are masons. But we're just breaking even or barely making any money, yet we're selling just a shit ton of money. So production or sales last week was $102,000. Now my bills are only around 75 to 80,000 a week, but I can't get all the production done because I haven't gotten the masons all staffed up and running because it's such new to us since June. Now we've gotten three, I believe, hired now, and we're still out there looking and training and stuff like that. But one of the things is as you're doing all this and you're getting yourself in trouble, you're going to have to get more appointments so that you can keep training going. And at this point in level, training isn't this thing that you take everybody aside and you set them down for a month and a half back in the back office and show them how to do it. I'm sorry, at any level starting the business, you're going to have to do a little bit of office work and a whole lot of out in the field work. You just have to do it that way when you're building a business. There is no other way. You probably don't have enough money to sit someone down for 2 months in an office and show them the diagrams of how to do the business. It just doesn't work that way. I don't care if you're a window washer, you're a maid service, whatever. People got to know how to do it hands-on. And it comes to doing the work. And I'm talking operations, not just sales, the work. The work's the hardest part. And for a lot of people, it has never been hard for me in master services because I found the one, then I found the two, then I had 3 guys that could train anyone and everybody. And I still probably have 4 guys in my business right now that anyone can jump in their truck and ride with them for 3 or 4 months. And they can be doing all sorts of chimney work, not sales. Sales, we put them through right now. I believe it's an 8-week process. And then they're still mentored for the first year like crazy. Meet 3 meetings a week. I mean, so we put all that time into it. And that's how your training should go. A lot of people, I think a lot of business owners that are younger in business or have muffled through life just being a solo or a couple truck company, you have to realize it's what you do in your off time is what's going to build your business. The meetings at 7:00 at night, twice a week, maybe Saturday morning, maybe, whatever. That's what we do. That's how we do it. Now, the operations meetings happen in the morning. Sales meetings, 2 or 3 of them happen at 6:30, 7:00 at night. That's just when we do it. And actually, our Monday meeting is 5:30. And so we've changed it to 5:30, which I don't love because sometimes they're still in trucks. But so that's the thing. People always ask me, how am I going to train these people? Well, you have to do it after hours. Sorry. And yeah, you have to pay them to do it. But at first you're just showing them how to do the work. You spend all the time in there and do it, and you get that one person that can do it, and then you do it. Now you start ramping up your advertising. Now, what does ramping up your advertising mean? And so there is a specific way to ramp up your advertising. Number one is make sure that you have your GMB page on there. That is free. You don't have to hire someone to go get your GMB page, and Google will walk you right through it to get you on there. And make sure you fill out every single damn thing in it. Get it as optimized as possible about everything you can. Add pictures, and then it's a never-ending thing. You must add pictures and do little stories and do little things on your GMB page all the time. Now that changes. That's today's model. They may stop doing that or whatever, but you have to, whatever it is, you stay on top of it. It's very simple. We're talking 15 minutes a week once you get it going. Okay. All right. That's free. Now, you can go to some of these other places like Home Advisor and Angie's List and whatever's out there, Yelp. If that works for you, great. I personally, I only have a couple things that we do. We're very limited on Home Advisor, and we're fast to the draw when they call too. And when we get the lead, it's pretty quick. But for me and my market, I like doing it the other way. I like AdWords. I love a little bit of Facebook, and I like a lot of SEO. SEO is that free, expensive thing you got to pay that you don't get any ROI out of it for 6 months to sometimes a year, depending on your market. But you got to pay to play. And you want to get on first page, that you just have to pay someone to do it unless you
want to spend the time like I did in my career to get me on first page on a lot of stuff. And then eventually I couldn't do it anymore. I had to hire someone. I hired Hosio. I've hired many people before Hosio. They broke through the Houston market for one of the keywords that I have never been on first page for. And now we're even in the maps. If you go look at Chimney Sweep Houston, you'll finally see Masters on there. Holy shit. Has that been a long time coming? But we did it, and hopefully we'll get on there for all the other ones and blah, blah, blah. And we're even in the maps. So GMB, yeehaw. Which is going to make a huge difference, and already is making a huge difference in Houston. So anyway, but with SEO, you pick a good company out. You got to know, here's the thing. Most of you aren't going to go do what I did and go learn SEO, but I'm going to tell you, you listen to this podcast and let me tell you what you need to know about marketing. Number one, it ain't free. It's a lot. If the right company is doing it right, it's time consuming. And they're going to charge you for that. Can you believe it? They have a service that they're going to do for you that you're going to eventually see results. That's going to get you a lot of clients, but you're going to have to pay up front. You're going to have to pay the piper for 3 to 6 months before you probably see a whole lot out of it. And it's not, you're going to pay, if you're a smaller company, you're going to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month. And then when it pops, it's going to well back all that money you paid into it and keep going and keep going and keep building your business. So what do you need to know about SEO? What you need to know is this: how many employees do they have? Because you need to know what they're going to be doing. No one person can effectively do SEO properly a month. Can't do more than, I would say, 5 to 7 businesses. They can only do 5 to 7 businesses. 10 if someone has a very good system. But let's just say they can do 10. So when you go to hire your friend of a friend to do SEO for you because they said he's good, yet where is he on SEO? I mean, how is he getting his business? And probably can't even find him on page 1 of your local market. Or you go look for, or you go interview anyone. How many people do you have and how many businesses do you have on book? I mean, how many businesses do you SEO for? I like to ask the SEO question, or how many they do first up front, because they don't know why they're answering that yet. So there's no red flags. Well, how many businesses do you do? And then once they tell you, then obviously, well, who are they? And if they tell you, well, I can't tell you who my customers are, well, then they're full of shit. Don't hire them. If they're a good, reputable company, they'll tell you everybody they have, because they're going to show you on first page. If they can't show you a business, or at least 5 businesses that they have on page 1 in your business sector, meaning service business, manufacturing, whatever type of business you are, then don't hire them. The proof is in front of you. It's staring at you in the face on Google for free. Give me 3 businesses that you got on page 1. And it can't be some stupid, like organic. I mean, it's not organic, some stupid business that nobody would ever look for and they have no competitors. Show me a plumbing business. Show me a chimney sweep. Show me a window washing business. Show me something that is similar to my business that you have in the top 3 rankings of SEO. So by the way, if you don't know what SEO is, search engine optimization, and that is after the maps and after the ads, everything that shows up for Google, just to give you what that is. That is, you can do it yourself if you know how to do it. It is a lot of work. It is a business to get you there, to make sure you know all the Google algorithms and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you got to pay someone that knows how to do that. Do not hire anybody if the guy says, "Oh, it's just me," and I do 30 businesses. So don't hire that guy. He's literally not doing shit for you at all. He'll work for you. So this is the model of most SEO companies. And I have so many clients that have fallen into this, and I've gotten them out of their contracts, or I just told them to quit because the other people will never come after you because they're not doing their obligation. So, I mean, it's very simple. What should they be doing? They should be probably writing 1 or 2 blogs a month. They should be getting links for you. And I'm not going to go into the black hat, white hat, or gray hat type of links they do, but they should be getting links for you. You should be checking and getting those links to see what they are. There are tools out there that'll show you what links you're getting. You may have to pay $30 a month for that to see what they're, because you want to make sure that they're not giving you shitty links. If they give you shitty links, you get kicked off of Google. Okay, so what else are they doing? Are they optimizing your website, which is the SEO 101? Do you have your title tags? Are there enough keywords? Are there too many keywords? Are the pictures all ranking? All this stuff that goes in your website. They got to do that. And they got to do that on the monthly. And then when they first start, they're going to do all this shit for you for the first 6 to 8 weeks. Then they're done. They don't do anything. Yet they keep charging you $2,000-$3,000 a month. Yet they do nothing. And so that's where you got to get you got to know what they're doing. So strongly suggest whoever you hire, they have a report for you every month that shows you your rankings. And I do, hold on, boys and girls. And I don't mean showing your analytics, your Google Analytics. That is such bullshit. They're going to show you your Google Analytics. And they're going to say, see what you've done. Well, guess what? If your phone's not ringing more, they ain't done shit. We want to see that phone ringing. I want to see how many calls I got from their work. That's where you come into the landing pages. That's where you come into an actual special phone number that is not your typical phone number, your advertised number that goes on these different campaigns. Like, for instance, SEO is going to be your main number for sure. But when you do AdWords, when we haven't gotten there yet, but when you do AdWords, every campaign has a different phone number. Because you want to know, well, not every campaign, you can separate it, but you want to know AdWords has its own phone number. Okay. That way and you have them calls recorded, it tells you how many, it does talk to Google Analytics if they set it up correctly, but there's so many ways you can go in there. So let's get back to the reporting. So I don't want to get off into AdWords. So they should be able to show you a report of when they started with you, how many links you had, how many links you have now, how many blogs they've done, how many blogs, they did this month and whatever, how many images did they optimize and put on they should have where your rankings were from day one to where you are now, maybe even for the last 6 months with your rankings. They should show you all this. And Google Analytics does not show you all that. It does not. You want to know how many calls you got from just their advertising. You need a report like that. If you're not getting a report like that, they're not proving their worth. So what do? And I can tell you, 90% of all my clients and all business owners, what do? They constantly are scared of SEO companies. Why? And yet they pay the beast anyway, just because they're scared of them. And what are they going to do to my business if I fire them? Well, the problem is it's very simple. You don't know what the hell they're doing, and they don't tell you what they're doing. So you don't know if you can make an educated decision to fire or keep them going. So when you go into a relationship with a marketing company, you need to know what the hell they're doing for you and prove it to me. What business is, what have you done for me lately? And if they optimize your site and they do great the first 6 months, and then a year and a half later, you're going, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I paying you $4,000 a month? Yet I'm still where I was a year and a half ago. Well, you just paid them for nothing, And so it doesn't work like that. You got to make sure that they're doing work for you. So make them prove it. If they can't prove it, don't hire. By the way, any company in a medium to large market should be paying anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 a month. That's just SEO. That's my opinion. That's the good sweet spot. I pay anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 a month. And so I do kind of mix it up a little bit. Steve hates me for it. It tells you at times, but it is what it is. Okay. So let's get to AdWords. AdWords is a new discovered thing for me. It's been an old friend of mine since they first started. So my AdWords story is simple. When AdWords first came out, when Google first came out, I got called and I was the first chimney sweep in Texas on it. They showed me out. They spent a whole day with me on the phone, telling me how to optimize my website, telling me how to create an AdWords account, help me set up, and they did it. And they'll still do that for you today. You can call up AdWords and they'll help you do it. Okay. Problem is they're also, they come at the fact of they think they act like they're doing it for your benefit, but I always felt like he was doing it for their benefit because you get a whole bunch of shitty links or clicks and you're paying way more than you should for whatever calls and your conversion rates aren't good. So that's why you should hire a company. And how you set up your AdWords is very simple. You should have a website that you own, by the way. Your intellectual property should all be yours. Your website, not your name, your actual physical website is your storefront. You should own it. You should be able to fire and hire and put anyone in your website at will. If you can't do that, you need to go get a new website. You need to own your shit. If you don't own it, then guess what? They do. And that's why a lot of people are scared. You know what? If you do own the name from GoDaddy or one of these other sources, you can go build a new website, hire someone to build it for you, and pull the name over to you. Okay? It's that simple. As long as you, and they'll know how to do it. They'll save all the same URLs. They'll duplicate it, maybe better. They'll probably make it better, whatever, and you do that. Don't listen to all the bullshit. Well, these people, well, then we're going to cancel your website. We're going to do this. They might. But once you started them send over you, they're not going to go disavow everything they've ever done for you because they're lazy. They're not going to do that. They'll stop working on your website or buying stuff for you if they even are. But chances are moving SEO is scary, but it's really not. If you are informed, it's very simple to move your website over to someone else. That person should know what they're doing. And I do like people building their own. I don't have this. I wish I did. I do not right now. My website at Masters is huge, thousands of pages and blogs and stuff. Yet it still doesn't rank the best as it should. I mean, I'm actually, when you Google Masters, you're not going to find me number one on a whole lot of stuff, but I'm on a whole lot of one first page. And so, but Hozio's working on it. I've only had Hozio for, I don't know, a little less than 2 years. They've done wonderful, but anyway, back to you. You got to own it. You got to own all your own intellectual web properties to where you can hire and fire anyone. I would host your own website, have the hosting yourself to where you can kick them out of the hosting, kick them out of the website, and then bring someone on board and nothing changes. Now, if that's not your case, I'll go make that happen in the next year. Go find someone to do it. You can call Hozio if you want. There are other ones out there, especially in the chimney business that I won't mention them because I have no affiliate with them. I do like a couple of them out there, but like all of them, even Hozio, they screw things up. I have to be on top of them because I got to know what I'm doing. It's my business. It's my website. I have to know what they're doing, and you have to go and talk to them. So let's get to AdWords. So AdWords, you got to build a landing page on your website, not on someone else's website that link is pointing to you. It's on your website. That's one thing why you may have to go get a new website, because you want all the AdWords clicks to count for your SEO. They will tell you till you're blue in the face that it doesn't matter, and it's bullshit. The more people are clicking on your website, the more relevance you have on Google. And the more relevance you have on Google, your rankings will go up. It's that simple. That is Google 101. So anyone that tells you, oh, well, I'm going to create another website and we're going to link it all over to yours, we won't link it to it, but they'll think it's you. It's bullshit. Don't do that. That's not how you do it. The landing page should be on your own website. So then when an AdWord clicks on it, or you go do a Yelp ad, put a different phone number on Yelp, and it goes straight to there. If you go do a Facebook ad, it goes to your website with a different phone number. All these different websites that you're advertising on, AdWords, Yelp, have a different phone number than what your landing or that your homepage has, your main number. Why? You go get a CallRail account or another account like them. You pay like $3 a month for the phone number. They record the calls. You can go in there and click appointments you did or didn't make. You get to listen to the whoever answers the phones. And now all of a sudden you can see, and you also are pointing it back to analytics, which is Google Analytics. And you can start seeing who called and how many calls you got from that advertising and how many appointments you made. You can do that once a week or once a month, whatever you want to do. Now you start seeing exactly where your advertising is coming from. And that's the power of where do I spend my money? So that's how you start building a business. Start learning the marketing of the business. Start hiring and training one more person. And here's the biggest thing. I'm going to pull it up here on here. So I pulled up. Boy, I sound retarded. Scaling, this is what I Googled. Scaling, should I do marketing or hiring first? I just wanted to see what some other people said. And here is one of the first things, Forbes. Your first step should be looking to someone who has previously established success in growth stage marketing functions. You should learn how to hire before you market. Okay. Scaling mindset. As a leader, hiring is the best talent is your top priority. Having to hire the right people in the right roles. So I say this all the time. I was a terrible hiring person, horrible. And I've gotten better at it. And of course, we do good now at Masters with it. But I think my biggest thing is even if I wasn't, probably the reason why I wasn't really good at it, because I didn't really do it a lot, even though I grew the company to what I am. When I was trying to get to 5 or 6 trucks, or when I got to 5 or 6 trucks, I wasn't hiring anymore. I stopped. Big mistake. Once you start scaling a business, do not change your mind. Never stop hiring. Never stop training. Someone should be training someone at all times. It's the biggest mistake small business owners make. And I was right up there with you to make it. I'll tell you a story. So if you're in the chimney world, you know who Mark Stoner is. He runs a 10 million plus chimney company out of Nashville. And we become good buddies. He's at my cabin. And we had a good long weekend there. This was, I guess, almost a year ago now, a little less. It was after I got out of COVID in the hospital. So like November last year. Came to see me, and which is cool. Good buddy now. Well, it was then as well. And one morning, I think I've mentioned this in the podcast, so another one, but I'll mention it again. Got a lot of new listeners. I asked him it was a Saturday morning. Other people that were there with us were all out walking or hunting or whatever they're doing. It's just me and him sitting at a table drinking coffee. I don't remember if he was drinking coffee. I don't think he drinks coffee, but I do. So we're sitting there, and I looked up and said, "Hey, we're buds. I'm still growing my business. I'm bigger than most people, but I'm not you, obviously." I said, I read your book, which he knows I did. I said, I'm at where you are. We're approaching 5 million. I'm not stuck at 5 million. I was stuck at almost 4 million for years, 3.5 to 4 million. So a little less than he was stuck there for a long time. I said, what was the big difference? What made the difference? Really? I mean, was it training? Was it hiring? Was it just getting certified? And he looked at me. He didn't even hesitate. He goes, hiring. Just all about hiring. And it's not, and it is about the quality, but there's still a point where there's still quantity. You still got to have more than you need. And when you have more than you need, when you get busy, well, you can then do the numbers you need to do. That's why we don't like, when me and him have talked this on our podcast, and I've been on his podcast. We don't like being booked out more than 2 or 3 weeks. No, sales should be driving to where I can get operations done in 2 or 3 weeks. I've done that this summer. I just didn't have the right labor in place for masons, and I will 2023. I will have the right labor. We'll be selling. I'm going to ramp up. So I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to ramp up my AdWords and my advertising 3x. I'm going to spend 15 to 20 grand a week. Holy shnikes. But that's the big boy move, right? That's a big boy move. Because I want my guys, because here, you know why I know I can do this? So that may shock you in that number, but you know why I know I can do this? Well, I know my average ticket's $4,200, which it's going up, by the way. I believe last I looked, it was 4,800. But let's just, I say 42 is the story I always tell. So to my clients. So let's go to the 48. So 4,800 is my average ticket. If my closing ratio is at 40%, which is low, let's just say 40%. So that means every 4 out of 10 appointments I make, I'm going to make, let's just round a number, 20 grand. Okay. Well, if I'm spending, let's just say 6 grand a week right now in advertising, what happens when I spend 20? See what I'm saying? I don't care what I spend if the guys are hitting their numbers. And there is a point where the numbers don't work. I mean, there is. And it may be 12,000 for a week for me. It may be 30. I don't know. but I'm not afraid to spend it because I know what my guys will do because I also trust them. I told them the week of June 1st that I'm gonna trust them to do their job if they trust, and I'm gonna trust them to do their job, and I love them, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna go broke getting them as many appointments as possible. And our average, I haven't this is not a made up number, but it's close. We've averaged over 90,000 a week in sales since June 1. We had 1 week where it was 62 grand, but every other week was pretty much close to 100, pretty close. 90 to 100,000. We had a couple, I think we had 125,000. This is sales, not production. Production, I need to do around 80,000 to break even a week. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have to do at our business. So, I mean, but the numbers could be the same for you. It could be, you could literally be doing the same thing and spending whatever you do to get your business growing. I don't mean the same thing. I mean, in ratio to lower numbers until you start ramping up. But here's the thing, what I was trying to get to. I'm not scared to spend that. I trust my guys are going to go get their numbers because they have always gotten their numbers. My numbers are over a time. It's not last week's was 40,000 or 40%. And the week before that was 32. Week after that was no. My yearly closing ratio right now is over 40%. And it's probably way higher than that now. We just had such a bad spring. In the wintertime, we go up closer to 48 to 54% in sales. So yeah, I don't mind spending a bunch of money to make sure that I know my numbers and they're hitting them. So this episode is not about knowing your numbers, but I'm just telling you on the marketing, if you do know your numbers, you shouldn't be afraid of how to hit what to spend on marketing. So anyway, get yourself in trouble in a lot of areas, and that's good trouble. Trouble is, are you much more comfortable in what you're going to spend if you know them? If you don't know them, you feel Wild West. When you don't know what your SEO company's doing, you feel like, well, what the hell? Why am I not doing it? Why, okay, so let's go back to AdWords. So you got to have a landing page, you got to have a metered number. And so let's talk about that landing page. So when someone builds you a landing page, it shouldn't have more than 3 or 4 paragraphs on it at all. That's it. Heavy pictures and heavy call to action. Call for a free estimate, call for inspection, call for, whatever. Call. And that button is there for mobile and online. It's all over the place. And that's the number that's metered that you're going to see all the stuff. And then you're going to have reporting on that. That's how you do a campaign, not just AdWords. I say that for AdWords. That's Facebook. That's Yelp. That's all these. You have a page directed. So if you have I'm going to use my own business, chimney company. So I have a chimney cleaning page, landing page. It's a chimney sweep page too. Same thing, cleaning sweeps, reversible keywords. So when I advertise anything chimney sweep on AdWords, for AdWords, it goes to, let's say, a number 1, 2, 3, 4. So I see that. If I'm going to advertise in Facebook for a chimney sweep, I'm not going to use that 1, 2, 3, 4 number. I'm going to use 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I know exactly Facebook got me this many calls. AdWords got me this many calls. And by the way, the two pages are nearly identical. Don't worry about duplicate content. It's not going to matter when it comes to a landing page. But you do want to know what number it came from and what's landing. Now, I know all these platforms have some type of reporting, but there's nothing better than seeing the call yourself and seeing that you booked it and you have your own reporting. It's very simple. It's very easy. And so, so part 3 of what to do is that literally hire another person. Holy shit. Did he say that? I'm still trying to find that first one. Well, then hire 2. I know I started this 3 weeks ago. If you haven't hired someone and you're in the middle of trying to do what I'm saying to do, or you're going to use this in the future, you got to hire. And you're never going to stop hiring. Never. Come 3rd week of October or November, when Thanksgiving hits, I would still do an interview. Why not? Here's the one thing that people don't get when you hire people and you keep an ad out there. How many people are better than you at something in our business? Like, for instance, masonry or carpentry. What if you're a window washer? What if you get a guy that's been in window washing for 5 years and just been shit on his whole life, And now you come up and you're a great business owner, but yet you haven't found the right guy. And you look at this guy, listen, you can clean windows, you can do them fast, you can train people, I'm going to pay you to be better, and we're going to build a business. And you just found that guy. And that might have been in January when you're not even washing windows. But if you're hiring, he's still looking for a job because he's doing the same thing you're doing, not working. I'm just saying, if you're always at least taking apps and seeing what comes across the thing, you don't give up. You don't stop advertising, when you're busy. You might turn your AdWords down or maybe turn a Facebook off, but you don't turn your GMB pages off. You don't stop the phones from ringing. So why do you stop the phones ringing when you're looking for people? And then you have someone, that one person, hopefully we're beyond the point where you have someone. So you have someone. If that guy's training 2 people, who cares? Your jobs are getting done faster. Okay? A lot of people, I get this constantly. How do you train people? It's so easy. Put them with someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. It's that simple. Now, you got to have that one. I get that. Let's get over the hump, but you don't have that one. Get that one. After that, it's smooth sailing. Same thing with sales. I'm telling you, I hired Cody Whitwood, and that dude has revolutionized our sales team. Now, I'm not going to lie. He's good. But guess what? I could replace him in a second because I could. I never will. I love him and he's awesome. But what he's doing, I'm just saying the position. I don't want to replace him. It's the position that we added of a sales guy. Now, they may not be as good as Cody. They probably won't be. But just having someone in a position to manage a sales team, that's the difference. Operations and sales are 2 different monsters. So, if Cody were to quit, it may take me a year or 2, 5 even, to find someone as good as him, to equal him. So, Cody, if you're listening, don't quit. Yeah, no, he doesn't plan on it at all, but I'm just saying. But you got to go find the people, I'm a little different. I put my faith and my love into my people, and I tell them I love them. I don't, not my employees, my management. I don't know my employees. I know sounds weird. I don't work there. I just don't work there. That's what you're trying to build up to have some type of freedom to build the business. And you're not going to build the business to have some type of freedom until you start trusting and hiring people and then giving them someone to train to start building the business. And here's the thing, at your level, whether it be 1 truck to 5 trucks, what are you doing? You're not gone. You didn't leave. You didn't zap yourself on the moon now. You're still there. You're seeing what these people are doing. You're then going to manage them. You're going to make sure that they're doing the right training. You're going to show up to jobs. You might take them for a week on your truck, after you give them someone else. But here's the thing again, meetings. You got to keep the training going. Training never stops. So so this felt a little weird for me, and I'll just put it out there. So Accelerator, Surefire, it's a chimney thing, guys. If you're not in a chimney business, I'm sorry, but to talk a little chimney here. Surefire came out, Stoner and those guys came out with a new training thing for managers and owners. Well, since I'm a business coach, I felt a little weird about doing that because, and I didn't feel weird because not like I know everything. That's not why. It just felt weird, just a little bit, maybe at first uncomfortable. So I put John and Cody into it, my general manager, and I asked them if it's okay. Well, then they invited me to the group and in the Facebook group. So I watched a little bit and saw what was going on. So you know what? I'm going to take part in this. I'm going to switch up my schedule and I'm going to make sure that I do it. And I didn't really do all the listening, but I noticed that there's some other bigger companies in it, like Mark Stoner and Ashbusters is in it, even though he's one of the facilitators or he's not a facilitator. He's just one of the companies in it, although he helped put it all together. And I'm like, how dumb of me. It wasn't an ego thing though, but it's like, how dumb of me. Why would I not? Even if I'm the biggest company or I'm the lowest company, it doesn't matter. What can I do to better my company and me than get to know a bunch of other, 10 other chimney companies around the country and grow my people in that type of environment? I need to be part of this. It's just stupid that I blocked myself out of it. So, Hope Stevenson, I didn't know this. If I had known Hope Stevenson, which I've only met her for a week when I last summer. So anyway, really like her. She's super smart. She has a nice Her and her husband own a big business in I believe, Arizona. But she's facilitating. Had I known that up front, which I did not, I would have easily said yes. Now she's that brilliant. So anyway, but I'm training. Okay, I train people to train, yet I'm still training. Mark Stoner, who owns a $10 million company, is in this group with his guy. He's training. I learn from you guys. When I talk to 3 or 4 people, I was on vacation, new people, and I even learned from stuff from new people, things that they do and stuff. So I never want to stop that golden finger of learning. And who you learn from is funny, because you're going to mostly learn from mentors, coaches, and stuff like that. But it's so funny how you can learn from people who are just starting out too, some new ideas that they have. So anyway, okay. Well, that's building a business part 3. So let's go through that again. So go get yourself in trouble. And yes, hire another person. Put the faith in one of them or both of them, whatever, to get it going. Advertise more and if you're beyond that point, someone else does the training for you or with you. Mix it all up until you get that one person who can always have an apprentice. And then the next time, and as you grow, and you have 2 guys that are good enough to apprentice. I've actually had guys that got out of training and did really well, were doing well, who are still under our umbrella of having to call in and stuff once they're out in the field. I've given them apprentices, because situational stuff out in the field is going to occur to everybody and anybody. Why not let them learn and grow together, even though one guy's brand new, another guy's been with me maybe 4 months. So that's how you do it. You just got to give faith to everybody else. You just can't do it all. You do got to follow the training, make sure they're doing what they do. And that's who they call and ask you. That's why. So anyway, that's your building a business part 3. So by the way, if you want to be coached by me, give me a call, 972-877-3585, or go on to Facebook and become my friend or messenger and me, and let's chit chat about your business. I mean, everything we're talking about here in the last 3 podcasts is stuff I'll help you with. If not, if you're beyond this, well, I'll help you blow it up even more from there. It just takes one person. Do you realize what one person can do in your life? One person. You all can think back probably to one person who's already affected your life in such a good way or even a bad way. I promise you I won't be the bad way. I can be that person for you, for your business. And I'm also kind of a fun guy to talk to anyway. And I've got a lot of different ideas. It's funny, a lot of stuff that I do with my clients, I can't put out on podcasts and stuff because I can't remember them all. It's a trait. I guess I'm lazy that way, but I know how to sit there and talk to you for an hour and get things and get you moving and going on the right space and places. And so I got clients that have been working now with 3 years. I mean, think about that. 3 years. What the hell could I talk to someone for 3 years and they still keep coming back? Well, obviously there's something to my brain that helps them out and keeps them going. So I can be that for you as well. So go ahead and message me. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. A lot of you people are going to be at Expo this week. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. I'm taking my daughter to Texas Tech, to college. She's my 3rd daughter, and I'm super excited for next weekend. So anyway, sorry I can't be there, but everybody else, I'll see you on the flip side next week.